There's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Now, you might know that line from a famous story. That's the story of Alice in Wonderland. And where I live is quite steeped in history with regards to Alice in Wonderland, because the author, Lewis Carroll, has a lot of links and ties to this town. I'm going to take you on a journey this morning, albeit a windy and cold journey, to show you some of the sights that are linked to Alice in Wonderland. And I'm up before sunrise, more or less, to see if I can get to the sites before it gets too busy. So Lewis Carroll, actual name Charles Dodgson, was house hunting at the age of around about 36 for somewhere to live, him and his sisters, and that brought him to the town of Guildford. Whilst he didn't actually live in Guildford a huge amount of the time, he did used to come at Christmas and other special occasions. Just running on the river now. If you've been a long time subscriber of mine, you will recognise this possibly as the first attempt I made at the half marathon, where I ran on the riverbank. I think I did that at something like 5 a.m. because it was absolutely boiling. I remember that day so vividly. It was more or less sand all the way, and it was during that run, or rather after that run, because I was still new to the sport, that I ended up in a pretty bad way and couldn't run for a week and a half, 2 weeks. But that won't be happening today because we're not going all the way. In 1913, the electricity works. I'm really pleased that this town decides to keep its old buildings, albeit revamps them, modernises, but it's nice to live somewhere where the history is still kept alive in some form or other. It's Alice here, reading a book with what I believe is her sister, and then we've got the rabbit here going down the infamous rabbit hole. Site number 1, found. Just running through this very narrow alley. A lot of stairs to climb. Well, this is it. This blue house behind me, until the last remaining family member passed on. This was a house that, under the name of Charles Dodgson, was owned by him, and so it's now under private residency. I thought there was a plaque outside, but it doesn't seem to be there anymore. But this is the house that was purchased and lived in at some point or other by Charles Dodgson, Lewis Carroll, otherwise known, and his family. Now I'm going to head to the castle, which is, well, you can't quite see it, just over here. There it is. Let's go. Here it is, Guildford Cathedral. Such an incredible, beautiful place to come and visit. So well maintained. And yeah, I'm going to have a little run around here now, and I'll show you one of the other sites. So the next site that we're looking for is Alice Through the Looking Glass. Now, I'll be totally honest with you, I'm not entirely sure where it is. I've been there before as a child, but it might take a little bit of navigating. Oh, skateboarding, bicycle riding, roller skating, scooter riding, but running's okay. Okay, so where are you, Alice? Where are you? I'm sure it's somewhere around here. We're getting closer. Alice Garden. Here it is. Bit creepy, I suppose. Alice Through the Looking Glass. I'll give you a quick 360 tour in a moment. There it is, and I'll find the information about it as well. So, just reading the information here. The statue of Alice passing through a looking glass was made by Jean Argent in 1990 and presented to the town to mark the link between Lewis Carroll and Guildford. Lewis Carroll, pen name of Charles Ludwig Dodgson, an Oxford mathematics tutor. He acquired the lease of the Chestnuts, which is the house we just saw, in 1868. So, a little bit more context as well. As the eldest brother, after the death of his father, the head of the family, which then became him, included his 6 unmarried sisters. A home was needed for them, and the Chestnuts was ideal. And when you've got this as a backdrop, why would you not want to live around here? Onwards now to perhaps a sadder part of the tour, but definitely necessary in the telling or the retelling of Lewis Carroll. I'm just beginning my ascent up a road called The Mount. You can see it's a bit of an incline. What you're looking at here is roughly 150 metres of elevation over the space of just a few hundred metres, so it's pretty tough. Definitely a leg burner, but this is where I need to go for 2 reasons. And one of them actually mentioned last week, but couldn't do it because of the rain, so I'm going to do that one. But en route to that, the next part of our story. You know, it's a pretty tough climb when they put a bench on a residential route. Oh, this is tough. We've made it halfway up, and forgive me that it's a little morbid. I do apologise, but this is part of the journey that we need to talk about. By the way, whilst it looks relatively unkept, it is a quaint and beautiful cemetery when that sun is coming through. Right, where do I need to be? I think it's over here. There it is, the final resting place of Charles Ludwig Dodgson, otherwise known as Lewis Carroll. Should have bought a flower actually, just to lay there. Thank you, sir, for all that you've done, and rest in peace. Now, that does conclude our journey. Storytelling time with Dan. Hope you found that mildly informative. And just to kind of finish off my journey, I suppose, now, I'm heading further up this beautiful hill to somewhere at the top that makes it all worthwhile. Not to mention the fact that once you've made it, you get to run down. Okay, I'm going to stop now, otherwise all this heavy breathing is going to sound like one of those phone lines. that's what we came for. Now I don't actually have my trail shoes on, and as you can imagine, up on this hill here, it's pretty slippery, muddy, and it hasn't rained overnight, but the dew has set in, so we are just being a little bit careful as I make my way down here. And this will be a fantastic route this summer, which is something I'll definitely be looking forward to enjoying. So you can see here in the distance, that's a cathedral. Just beyond the cathedral is a university, and it's likely I'll be heading kind of down that way very, very shortly to head home. Just before I leave, look at that shot. As I mentioned in previous videos, okay, we don't have mountains here, we've got a lot of traffic, but you get the right day, got this environment. How amazing is this going to be in the summer? I'll bring you back here. Until then, let's head home. In case you wondered, yes, you can buy a house that has that view. Now, they're 6 figures, also in case you wondered, but wow, can you imagine it? Waking up, opening the windows, or opening the curtains rather, either or, and seeing that view. Whew. Some things are just worth every penny, right? The view. By the way, this is a fun bit, just running down a hill. I'm sure you'll appreciate that I haven't really taken into account any kind of pacing at all this morning. It was just for distance. I thought yesterday, fancy going for a little run. How can I make it a bit more enjoyable for myself? This is it. So good, so good. People often say to me, why'd you get up early? I've always done it. Even at weekends I get up at 5, even if I've got nothing on, because I like to achieve, I like to get a lot done. It's just gone 8 o'clock here, got 9k in. Okay, could have done maybe faster time, further distance, but that wasn't the point of today. Today was just to have some fun. I know it's normally my gym day, but that can be done another time. For any of you people who care about Strava, average time 7:31 per kilometre. Oh no. Fastest split, don't know. Slowest split, 11 minutes something. Today was not about that. It was about just the joy of running. And the sun coming up, it's glorious, and how blessed to be able to run at all, and to follow my half marathon distance yesterday with just a stunning run this morning is something that's fantastic.